Till the morning brief right here on Channels Television. You can join the conversation, by the way, on X, other social media platforms. Hashtag CTV Morning Brief. And you can just head to WhatsApp. Forgive me, I'm quite excited this morning. So we have a WhatsApp number for you. You can send in your comments, your messages, and videos as you deem them fit. If you have anything newsworthy, let us know. We can amplify that for the good of our nation. Well, let's turn our attention to sports. Not like we actually turn our attention away from sports anyway. It's always there. Everybody counting down to the next match or following the matches. Yesterday was a cracker. Saturday was even more exciting for a lot of Nigerians. The Super Eagles, we're now in the quarterfinals. We won Cameroon, as it should be, right? Don't forget, Jeffrey said we're big brothers anyway. So let's walk through that match, the matches that followed, and of course the coming days. We're joined, as always, on the show by Suleiman Adebayo, Pooja. There you see him right there in Côte d'Ivoire with the iconic tint on his beard. Pooja, good morning. Welcome to the Morning Brief.
Good morning. Good morning.
I know you were excited that Nigeria won that match against Cameroon, gave us bragging rights yet again. And I see what followed on social media with Nigerians peppering Cameroonians on social media. But the biggest scare for me, Nwabali being stretched off, Uzor coming in, and there were analysis about, Uzor's performance in that match. But just give us what you know so far about the Super Eagles and what will happen, because there are concerns about our squad for the next match. Iheanacho is also in the mix. So talk to us about that match and, of course, the aftermath. Pooja.
Okay, it was a very good match for the Super Eagles. Another clean sheet in the bag for the Super Eagles. But what we know right now is that Stanley Nwabali is not, there's no news on him yet, because yesterday was a training-free day for the Super Eagles. There was no training yesterday. The coach of the side, Joseph Posero, gave them an off day for them to relax. So, but the press conference after the match, Posero confirmed that the doctors will get back to him after 48 hours, talking about what happened to Stanley Nwabali, the goalkeeper. For Uzor, just kept for like 15 minutes, so there's no news about his performance yet. But for Nwabali, I think by today, later on today, we'll know the fate of the Nigerians. Remember, he has just considered just one goal in this tournament. Away from that, about Kelechi Iheanacho, the coach also said because he came from Leicester City injured and he has not been part of the team through the camp in Abu Dhabi down to the camp in Côte d'Ivoire, is not yet match fit to partake in the heat of AFCON. So there's no news on Iheanacho when he's going to start or going to play for Nigeria. But I have to confess to you that by today we know more about Nwabali, because the coach said the doctor said after 48 hours results will be out.
So let's talk about what played out that Saturday. What was the magic? Besides the fighting spirit, I know everything was at stake. Bragging right, national pride. There are so many things at stake here. But you're the technical guy. What did Posero do right? And is he winning Nigerians' hearts finally?
It's just simple, like we said on the show, several times. It's just about the formation. Against Ivory Coast, we did the same kind of formation, 3-5-2, where we have the wing backs, coming to forward, likes of Saidu and Aino, being the part of the midfield and the defense lineup. And we did exactly what we did against Ivory Coast, against Cameroon. Remember, in the pre-press conference before the game, President actually said he wants to score one goal and close shop. And that's what he did against against Cameroon as well. He scored, and there's no goal for Cameroon. So it's just the formation that is working out for him. Like I always say, we have the best material for this kind of formation. If there is no Aino, we have Bruno. If there is no Saidu, we have Bright Osai. So it looks like the team. And when it comes to the later part of the game, we always bring Kenneth Omero to seal up the game, and that's what he did against Cameroon again. So I think the formation, the 3-5-2 formation is working so well, and I don't think he's going to deploy that one against Angola as well, because against Guinea-Bissau, he did the 4-3-3 formation, but against big side at this AFCON, he did the same thing against Ivory Coast, and he did the same thing against Cameroon. It was a 3-5-2 formation that is working very well for him, that we consider just one goal in this AFCON.
So it's 3-5-2. We're having a debate before, not the debate now, conversation before the program about whether it was 4-4-2 or 4-4-3. Thank you for that enlightenment. So whether it's Cameroon Pepe or Cameroon Jollof versus Nigerian Jollof, this age-long rivalry is bound to be enhanced beyond this competition. But Pooja, still on what Coach Peseiro did differently, you know, so much has been said about Ademola Lookman. Is he, alongside Semi Ajayi, the much-needed support system that Victor Osimhen needs on the attacking line now for us to be able to convert our chances to goals more effectively in subsequent games?
Yes, of course. You know, we discussed about Peseiro coming out to say we are creating chances, but we are not converting our chances. And I think, you know, as we continue to grow into this tournament, we are converting chances. And the wingers talking about Samuel Moses and Lookman are now creating chances for Victor Osimhen. Away from the fact that Victor Osimhen have scored just one goal at this tournament, they've created enough goals, you know, for Victor Osimhen. Remember, before the last round of 16 against Cameroon, we had most of the clear-cut chances at this tournament. We've created more chances than any other side at this tournament. So it shows that there's something that the wingers are doing, Lookman are doing, and of course Samuel Moses. So if you look at the game against Cameroon, you see that there's a new support. I remember you said, you know, there was no unity, there was no, you know, collective unity between these guys. And I said they know what they are doing. They want to play for themselves, because if they lose, all of them lose, they win, all of them win. That's why you saw the first goal. Osimhen could have gone on to score that goal, but you have to create that chance for Lookman. So the guys are creating chances, you know, and of course you are scoring goals. Remember, you know, we've not scored more than one goal at this tournament, but against Cameroon, even with a defensive setup by Peseiro, we created more chances and we scored 2 goals. So I think our wingers, and like I said, we have the best material for this formation. So if there's no Moses, there's a Chukwueze. If there's no, of course, if there's no Lookman, there's other guys in the field that can play. Ian Nacho has not kicked a ball at this tournament. So we have so much from the bench and, of course, from the starting lineup that we can do against Angola on Friday.
I don't know if we should start getting excited, you know, because there's still cautious optimism. Everybody's still watching. Should we go all in or still just expect the worst? But, of course, we have to expect the best of our team. Before we talk about yesterday's match, or matches, but particularly Egypt's match, which was a major cracker. I mean, it was a beautiful game to watch. Talk to us about the controversy around that VAR call, the first goal that was ruled out, because for a lot of people it's still quite controversial. Yes, they saw the keeper was well ahead of our players, but then they saw a defender that was right there in the goalpost, and they're thinking, how is that offside? It doesn't quite make sense. What kind of rule is this? We should have been 3 goals up at the end of the day. So Pooja, help us out with that particular one.
Okay, right inside the stadium, we are always, you know, we are, you know, amazed about the VAR decision. But if you look at the rules very well, once the player, when the goalkeeper is in front of his own player, that means the player is the goalkeeper in that regard. So that means Semi Ajayi was offside in that game. So no matter what happened, once the ball is behind the goalkeeper and there's an opponent, you know, there's a teammate behind the goalkeeper, that shows that the player is the goalkeeper in that regard, according to the rules, you know, officiating the game. So it looks like, you know, an unjust VAR decision. But after we watched it, after we read through the news, and of course we read through CAF channels, we saw that that's the rule. So Semi Ajayi was actually offside in that regard. So that's the rule. Everybody is still questioning the rule. But of course, you know, we are just analysts, and you have to follow what CAF and FIFA have put down as part of the rules.
We know that offsides are perhaps the most complicated rule to define in football. Sometimes we just don't get it. Why is this offside? Maybe that's why the VAR came in. But moving on from there, let's talk a bit of technicalities here. Osimhen did a fantastic job fighting like he's trying to win a shirt. bet, you know, for the Super Eagles. This is the best player on the continent, about one of the top 10 players in the world and all of that. But he gave that fighting spirit in that match. But you could also see that whether it was man mark or zone mark, I'm not sure. Do you think that going forward, given the attention on Osimhen, in your view, we should use him as a decoy? Because most likely they're going to continue to man mark him and push that frustration further. He wants to score, but I like the fact that he knows that this is about team and victory.
I think that will be the Achilles heels for this team going to the later part of the tournament. Everybody wants to mark Victor Osimhen. If you saw that game against Cameroon, it was very clear. It was a man marking for Victor Osimhen, and that's why we were able to score that goal, that second goal. Calvin, just strode from the left back and just pass the ball to Lookman. While other defenders were actually marking Victor Osimhen. If you look at that game well as well, the Gonzalo guy, talking about the Cameroon defender, was all over Victor Osimhen throughout that game. It was just a tactical instruction to mark Osimhen, and that's a part of, because he would drag players to him and all other players will free, because in the box in the second half when you are looking for goal, Lukman Ademola should not be as free as that. But of course they are marking Victor Osimhen. But Victor Osimhen as well, I think after the third game, like I said, I think the second training session, he had more time talking to Joseph Posero when other guys were playing. So I believe it was telling him to take pressure off him. This is officially the first AFCON for Victor Osimhen that will be leading the team. Remember, he played just one game, less than 30 minutes in Egypt in 2019 against Tunisia in the third place. So this is the first time going into AFCON as the striker of Super Eagles. And remember, he won the CAF award, so there was so much pressure on him. So I think the coach just told him, guy, just calm down. There's so much to do in this tournament, and that's what he has been doing. Because if he was looking for goal in that game, that first goal, he could have went along to score that goal, but he laid the pass to Ademola. So I think if countries continue to mark Victor Osimhen, they open doors for other players like Lookman and Moses to punish them.
Yeah, well, seems we have to say a lot of prayers for Osimhen now, who is now seen as Achilles' heel. But going forward now, Pooja, talk to us about the match with Angola. They're seen as, very brilliant players, defeating Namibia by a comfortable lead. Should we be worried?
I don't think we should be worried. To all due respect, Angola are a very good side. They're a very good African side, and they have scored a lot of goals. But what is going on for us, even before this game, Cameroon scored 5 goals in the group phases, but they couldn't score a goal against Nigeria. So I'm not even scared of team scoring goals at this tournament, because we have the best defense at this AFCON. So if you have the best defense, that means they cannot score us. And we score goals, we created chances. And I think for Angola, they've not played that top level team. And for Nigeria, we play the likes of Guinea-Bissau, the likes of Victoria Guinea, who they are very good when it comes to African football. And Posero have found a way to manage or navigate this fixture. So against Angola on Friday, I don't think we are going to play that defensive game we play against Ivory Coast and Cameroon. We are going to open shops, just like we did against Equatorial Guinea and Guinea-Bissau. But the boys know what is on ground. By today, we have to see them in training after that daybreak yesterday and see, their tenacity, their disposition ahead of the game as well. But for Angola, they are a good side. If you're in the quarterfinal of AFCON, you're a good side. But Absolutely. They played against Namibia, who are not top level like Nigeria. But for Nigeria, we played against top teams, we played against lesser teams, and I think Posero should be doing his own work as we speak.
So let's expect a win, but hey, we're not throwing all our hearts in yet. Let's just still exercise cautious optimism. Pooja, someone was asking me to ask you, what if we want to join the Super Eagles? Is there a chance for us? Some people have skills.
Pooja, please don't include me.
But I have to thank you so much, Pooja, for giving such insightful analysis. Always a pleasure having you on the show, and I hope we can have this conversation again after Nigeria wins Angola and we're through to the semi-finals.
Yeah, I like that line, after Nigeria wins Angola.
You love that, right?
Amen.
Amen to that.
Pooja, what's your prediction? What's your prediction?
Yeah.
What's your prediction?
Another clean sheet for the Super Eagles.
2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0.
2-0.
Okay, we'll take that.
We'll take that.
A win is a win. Pooja, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Speak to you soon. Goodbye. Right, so we'll go to break now. When we return, we'll turn our attention to the third mainland bridge. Is work ongoing there? When will they be done? When will we have our beloved 3rd Mainland Bridge back in full? That's in a moment. Stay with us.